I made a drunken pirate the other day at work. That was fun.
A drunken pirate?
Yeah.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor?
So I was bored, and I was like, well, what fucking drink can I make? And I was just looking shit up, and I was like, well, let's take some at the pineapple rum, Malibu rum,
okay,
shot of each, pineapple juice, a little bit of splash of orange juice, and then blue Caraca, shook it.
So you got pineapple juice, pineapple rum,
Yeah.
and you got orange juice. And what else did you say?
No, and then I shook it.
Yeah.
Threw it over ice, and there was like maybe 2 inches left. Splash of Sprite. Fuck, it was good.
Sprite. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Sounds fresh and fruity. That sounds like a really, really light beverage.
Yep.
So how do you like in the new place?
It's fun, man.
Yeah, well, it's great. I'm very happy for you. In fact, we're all very happy for you. Anytime that your name gets dropped and I get talking about you, I say he's where he belongs. I say he's very happy.
I get to talk to people.
Yeah, he gets to talk to people. He gets to enjoy himself. He's home more, and that's the biggest thing, is that he's enjoying his time. And most of us that are in this stupid rat race that I'm in is just it's misery upon working hours and stupidity.
But the only way you get there is by making a plan over time and living that plan, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, I was talking to you from 2012.
Yeah, for real.
On, like, I'm building this fucking farm, and I'm getting the fuck out of this shit. I will not do steel work forever.
Thumbnail, Chris Maynard, Tall Pines Ranch.
Yeah,
humble plug.
I won't fucking do it.
Humble plug.
So all I do now, I wake up.
All 51 subscribers will know you. Oh, that's awesome.
It's cool. So, like, on the farm anymore, it's compost. I have like 52 compost piles on the property
really?
Right now. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So,
did you see Gilner at all? Yesterday he said there's Kevin Gilner.
Oh yeah,
Heavy 14.
I haven't seen him.
I was just working with him, so he's been.
I don't know if I can put it up on here.
Yeah, you can. It should be.
But I went to I went over to I went to an orchard on Monday. Just to visit one, and I was picking up a bunch of. It's kind of nerdy, but I was picking up some scion wood, and to graft into my trees, and this guy built these trees, dude. It was, what the fuck? It was so cool. 24. So, like, you can see it. He built these on a fence row, and then that tree, that produces about 400 apples every year, and the way that you can do it, you graft in your wood, and then you find your first bud, right? And then you cut, and then it starts to grow, and then you just bend the wood as it goes.
Yeah, send me that picture so I can put it right there.
Okay.
So,
So I went to this grafting chorus, and it was awesome.
That's cool. Oh, that looks really awesome. It's like it's a double heart.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
So I'm in process of building this crazy apple tree. I have like 4 different kinds of apples on it right now, and I have 40 different types of scion wood, so I'm putting 44 different apples on one tree.
Okay.
And they all bloom in different colors, going all the way up. So it's like whites, pinks, purples.
It's a double rainbow.
Yeah, it's a double fucking rainbow, right? So, and we're building this tree that's just gonna bloom all beautiful. So I was gonna make all of the whites when they bloom white. Yeah. So all the original trees, once I start cutting, which I'm doing this week, I'm gonna form them all into hearts using tie wire.
So are the leaves gonna bloom white?
No, it'll be the buds, like the flowers.
Yeah.
So early spring.
Yeah, because I have a couple different blossoms out there. I have a Japanese cherry blossom and then a traditional American cherry blossom. That one blooms pink and the one that blooms white.
Yeah.
When they go. So I don't know if those apple blossoms were kind of sort of the same.
Apple, it's just different types of apples that bloom different colors because they bloom at all different types of the year.
Right.
So it's fun.
My big Achilles heel is I have never pruned my apples prior to season, so I just set it and forget it.
Did you get apples last year? Because this is year 4 on yours, right?
Yeah, I got apples last year. They were, I want to say they were about that big. They're like a hand. You can fit in my hand. Right, for something that's just set it, forget it, and not really do too much to it, except for keep the, I don't know what those ones are called.
I thought those are Honeycrisp and Galaylas is what you have.
I have Galas, I have Honeycrisp, I have Macintosh, and then I have, and Red Delicious, I think, is what I have out there. And then they did get, not this past year, but the year before that, it was, I guess they're the army worms or whatever you want to call them. I'm not sure what their technical name is.
Yeah.
But they make webs and everything like that. And then I went ham and decided to kill it with fire. And that kind of set those trees back a minute.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But they survived. And then, they've been doing good. I have had like 2 or 3 casualties of the trees. One was due to the fact that I had no idea that my zero turn was as strong as it was. And I accidentally went zip. And then the tree went that way. And I went, shit.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. Like, I'm just trying to get, trimming close to it. And
you're just trying to build a small little orchard, so it's cool.
Yeah, just something,
Just something for your family to eat.
Yeah, it's mostly for the deer. But yeah, we do get apples enough to where it's a plentiful amount to where the deer don't eat everything. So I do get some off the tree. And, I mean,
you could even make hard cider.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, crab apples are way better for making hard cider because they're much more crisp. But I mean,
crab apples are pretty. Those ones are interesting because they're what, dark red, and then they're tiny. They're tiny. Yeah, they're tiny little things.
But there's all different kinds too. I mean, some of them are purple, some of them are black.
Yeah,
you can get so many different kinds.
That was one thing that I enjoyed when out of high school. I worked at Maine's Apple Valley Farm there in Freeland, and I got to learn as an apple bagger boy. I got to learn all the different types of apples. I got to learn all the different types of ones that they brought in because they sold them by the pound or by the bushel. Of course, the bushel ones are the ones that handheld size ones, and then by the pound ones are the ones that are ginormous. I mean, you're talking Honeycrisp that this one weighs like a fucking pound itself. And they're amazing, and
that comes from pruning.
Yeah, and those are amazing apples that they have. And then they used to grow their own, but now they import them from I want to say it is west side of the state where they get theirs from, and they bring them in.
Traverse City.
Yeah, I think it's more like Grand Rapids.
Okay,
it's like center mid state.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Traverse City is more like cherries and stuff.
Yeah, Traverse City is the cherry capital of the world.
It is.
That's what they say.
So,
apples are awesome. Apple trees are sweet. And have you tried doing honeybees yet?
My father-in-law does them. I don't. I mean, I might get one hive, but I'm not going to take care of them. Someone else needs to come out there. I got too much shit going on.
Yeah, I keep saying that I want to do it, but I also look at how much work they are, and it's like, I don't know. They're beneficial, of course. Hey, there's one thing: save the honeybees. I think we can all get behind that. But
save the trees, save the honeybees,
save the bees.
Shut the fucking border down.
I had Justin on yesterday, and I put on my one Hawaiian shirt, and then I got the sweet safari hat up there, and I put that on with the fucking binoculars from Aurora's like kid set, and I was like, I have looked high, and I have looked low, I have looked far, and I have looked wide. I can't find a single policy Joe Biden has done that made any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But dear Lord.
I talked to somebody about it, and they were like, well, the whatever his fucking deal.
Dementia?
No, Build Back Better. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I said, I get how you can see that it is good.
Right.
From right now, right where we stand, sure, I get where you can see that. But is it going to benefit you and our children 100 years in the future?
Yeah.
Because if we look at history all the way through and through, where we get worse typically is when we get a bunch of free shit.
Yep.
When we are given, when there is no accountability, I'm like 300 years in the future, I would love everyone to be healthy. I would love everyone to be eating good food.
Right.
I would, fucking water, dude. First off, we shouldn't be putting it in plastic. That's my opinion, but hey, it is what it is.
You're not wrong.
But water and food, especially in the land of the free, should be a fucking human right. It really should.
I think that is a human right. And it should be a human right.
It should be a human right.
I think it is, but
the more that we give for free without doing what is beneficial, we are tearing ourselves down even more. And that is the real problem. Everybody just wants shit without putting the beneficial work in and thinking about really what is the best thing for the most people in this exact moment.
You're literally singing Richmond, North Richmond right now. If you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, my goddamn taxes shouldn't pay for your fudge rounds.
But it's history. Like,
it's fact.
The other thing that is going on right now, this is terrifying to me, actually. But it's out of my control. So what's going to happen is going to happen. And that's why I stay as fit as I possibly can, because I just believe that we should be strong. But the last time that American states tried to take a president off the ballot.
All right, let's go.
What happened?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I think it was something like the Civil War. Had to do with Abraham Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken.
It totally was. It's terrifying because
it's horrible.
Like, I get that someone went like, hey, you guys don't like Trump.
Did you see the reactions, though, when the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for states to do that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. They were like,
also,
all of a sudden, the Supreme Court is like, you can't do that. It's like, it's a federal issue.
And it's funny, though, because
is that not the job of the Supreme Court, to rule on federal issues that are about the Constitution?
They did that then, too.
How is that not their exact job description?
I know. They did that then. It's so scary.
Oh, it's wild. It really is.
It's not. It's actually not scary. I will rephrase, because it's the school system.
Okay.
Is fucked.
Yeah.
And that's all that proves.
Yeah. I agree. I concur.
We haven't been taught like in school. You're taught. You're not taught. You are programmed.
Yes.
You are not taught how to think.
Nope.
Or really even live.
It's where, in my own opinion, places like, let's look at the statistics here. In generally blue states, the school system is really bad.
Like fucking one we live in.
Like really bad. I'll get to our state here in a minute, but that's why, like, personally, homeschooling is your best option, and at choice school is a good thing, because that allows the money to follow the child, and then the best schools win out of that fight. And what the parents want and what the people want, that's what goes there. But the red states are the ones that I agree with the most. So, what we'll touch back on this a little bit more, but that's kind of why, like, Katie and myself, we're looking into going to Florida, like moving there, like selling this, moving to Florida, because those states are, as far as our kids are concerned, those are ideals that I can get down with. I can agree with these things. Yes, in those red states, you have less government subsidies. Cool. I didn't get any in the first place anyway. So whatever, it is what it is. But in places like Michigan, now we're seeing, as the primary went through, and you see, it's like a polar opposite. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the numbers at all or if you pay attention to those. But if you look at the numbers in 2020, you look at the numbers in 2024, Joe Biden's numbers in 2020, I think he was at like 640,000 people were voting for him. And then Trump, he was like in the 300,000 percentile here in the state of Michigan. Fast forward 4 years, Trump has almost 700,000 votes towards him, with Nikki Haley trailing behind him with like 300,000. And then you got Joe Biden sitting there just barely peaking 400,000. And then you have uncommitted of nearly 200,000. That means that those people, instead of just staying home and not voting that day, they were that fucking pissed at the way that the party is being ran that they got up, put their shoes on, went out to a voting booth, said that I'm a Democrat, but I'm uncommitted towards this president. That is a statement, especially here in a swing state like Michigan.
Right.
And that is a statement. To me, that's like, I think that people, I was explaining this to Justin yesterday, that I feel like during 2020 and during COVID, when everybody was on the lockdowns, we had a bunch of people that were not familiar with how the internet is go on the internet, and they start either whether it was a chat room or whether it was they're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it was. You have all these people that don't understand that there's these things called trolls and these things called propaganda that flood the internet all the time. And there's a lot of people believing in a bunch of things and understanding and going towards one agenda to the other. But now, after those years after COVID have happened, I kind of feel like, just a little bit, this might be me being, like hope for humanity. But I feel like there's a kind of a little bit of an awakening happening where people are just tired of bullshit.
Yeah, I'm really tired of fucking bullshit.
I think everybody is.
I'm tired of the fucking divide of Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, they're all one team almost in the political spectrum.
I can see that. And I can agree with that. When you look at the lobby, yeah.
Man, we need a fucking change. And there's one of the biggest changes that I see. Look at how good RFK's doing.
Oh, he's doing
as an independent.
He's not getting any airtime at all. Like everybody and their brother, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, everybody's just like, shush,
fuck him.
Shut up.
Yeah, but look what he's doing.
Yeah, but if you take those uncommitted votes for the Democratic Party, and you take those Nikki Haley votes, so you're taking those people on the blue side that are like, I don't want to vote for Biden. You're taking those guys on the red side that are like, anybody but Trump.
It's going to be close.
And you put it towards Green Party?
It's going to be close.
Dude, that is a three-way race to the finish line.
Which also kind of terrifies me in another instance, though, because our two-party system here in America kind of does help us, in a sense.
I can see that.
Not become a communist state. Because if you look at communist countries, they have like 9 different fucking parties, technically, right? And like, I'm not talking Russia, right? There's one motherfucking party. But I'm talking places like Georgia, like the country, and Turkey, and Croatia. The places like that have 8 to 9 different parties. Canada, for fuck's sakes. I mean, they have so many different parties, and they're borderline communism. if you look at them.
If you look at Canada, it's communist Canada.
No.
Yeah, Justin Blackface Trudeau.
It's hard for me to really, like, and I'm just looking at it from our perspective because I've never been there. I've never been to any of these countries except Canada.
Right.
And I would love to almost get there and build this farm and then start to go visit these places and be like, is it really communism? Are people happy here? Because most people, because the United States is so goddamn huge, most of us have never left. And it's really hard to leave because, well, we have nothing that backs our goddamn dollar since 1972.
That was what?
1972.
Nixon?
Yeah. 1972, we got taken off.
That guy with Watergate?
Yeah. But we got taken off the gold standard, right? So.
I got this especially for
you. What one? Is that in Nixon's book?
If you want to borrow it. If you want to borrow it.
Maybe after I finish these next couple. Me and Kelly have decided that we're going to do like a devotional thing. So.
I'm only a chapter into it, but I didn't get it.
Oh, it's a great book, isn't it?
It's been great so far, yeah.
After you finish that, Robert Kiyosaki has a wonderful book called Fake that you would love.
Okay. That was pretty dope. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. I just picked that one up and I finished. I finished this one here. I don't know if you know what that is.
Nope.
This is the poisoning of Michigan.
I mean,
this happened. This happened in the 1970s, where they mistakenly used the same feed bags for cattle that they put fireproofing in, and they fed cattle fireproofing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a huge thing. Like, I even talked to my parents about it because they were alive during this time period, and a bunch of guys that, you know, the older guys at work that I was talking to, they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, PBB." And my mom was like, "We used to sit there and play in the pits where this was happening. They would take in herds of cattle and just sit there and open fire on them and kill them because they had a certain percentage PBB inside of them." This is a good read.
That coming off of that,
yeah,
isn't it kind of weird that we are one of the, and not to like be like, oh, European countries are way better, but especially here in America, as of right now, we are the only motherfucking place on the planet that poisons our children.
Okay.
From birth. Even the fucking Nazis didn't do that, brother.
I have a lot of disagreement with the Nazi parties. Again, all right, so that we understand, Hitler bad. Hitler's bad.
Hitler's horrible.
Hitler's bad. But
he didn't poison his children with sugar.
But he did have some really good points.
He didn't poison his children.
He had some really good points. If you can't admit that, like, everybody, oh my God, circle back to Trump a little bit. When he says that
he's good and bad.
When people talk, yeah, exactly. When Trump says that, like, Putin, he's a very smart man. He's a very clever individual. Don't underestimate him. He's not being a Putin sympathizer. He's being
just
completely
don't underestimate him. Yeah.
Yeah, just
because he doesn't want to fucking die either.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? This guy's been in power for how long? So he knows the game
30 years
very well.
Right.
Like the backside of his hand. He knows how this game of propaganda goes.
I think it's been 30 years that Putin's been in power.
I want to say, yeah, it's probably a better part of that. We'll put the extra number up somewhere like right in this vicinity. Yeah. Over here. Anyway, but yeah, you don't underestimate people like that.
Correct.
You don't underestimate a communist. Just because they're communists and because you don't believe in their party's ideals doesn't mean that you think that they're stupid.
What about these people that want communism in America?
Oh, you mean like Marxism?
Yes.
Oh, God. Well, all right, listen. If there's one single thing, and I don't care if my kids turn out to be gay. I don't care if my kids turn out to decide to grow a penis. Because I have 2 daughters. I don't care if that's what they want to do. But I swear to fucking God, if my kids decide to sympathize for communism. That is the single worst thing, and I have failed as a father. If they do that. You want to know what? Communism, I'll give it this. All right, so check this out. Communism on paper, it's a great fucking system. If you look at it on paper, it fucking works. The problem is that you put people in there. And people are fucking stupid. And people are they're greedy. And they want to have power. And they want to fuck everything up. It's just like the roundabout. Okay? So if you take a roundabout, it's on paper. That's the best fucking thing you can do for a 3-way intersection or a 4-way intersection. Roundabout, boom, boom, boom. Everybody goes where they need to go. The problem is when you put fucking Karen there feeding little Jimmy Cheetos in the back seat going 60 miles an hour, running around it and T-bones your ass. People are the fucking problem.
Well, people should pay attention.
Right. But the problem is people. Communism, the problem is the people. If everybody had equality, which is what everybody wants, equal rights between everybody without putting work in, that sounds like a perfect society. That sounds like euphoria. Of course.
Yeah,
but the problem is
that's kind of, that's insane.
Yeah, the problem is that you need to have people with drive.
Yes.
You need capitalism. You need people to create money, to create equity, to create money, to create jobs, to create a society.
And with capitalism.
With capitalism.
With capitalism, though. And I will take this line out of the Bible because it is beautiful.
Hit it, brother.
I believe it's I know it's 1 Corinthians. I believe it's chapter 9. No, I'm wrong. Chapter 6, verse 12. Peter asked Paul, because Paul the apostle wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, right?
Okay.
So Peter asked Paul, do we have to follow these laws of Judaism? And he said, no, all things are lawful. Not all things are beneficial. He actually said helpful, but when you take the words out of Hebrew, blah, 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 right? So all things are lawful, not all things are beneficial. So in a capitalistic system, if you are doing what is beneficial, which would, because greed is a deadly sin, so you wouldn't be doing that, which is why I hate that we've taken God out of everything, because it really does have some really good messages if we would listen to things.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, the Bible says that a woman should serve their husband. Okay, well, what's the next line, you fucking idiots? Right?
Isn't she not steal from thy neighbor?
No, so it's also in Corinthians, but it's in Matthew and Mark and Luke and John, but it says, wives, serve your husband.
Yep.
The next line, it says it 4 different times, but my favorite one, and I cannot recite the exact verse because I have a relationship with God, I don't really need that.
Yeah.
It says, husbands, love your wife.
Yes.
As Jesus loved the church.
Yep.
Which, if we all did that, what kind of fucking perfect world would we be living in?